Okay, this is going to be a project in which we explore different techniques all on the same page and kind of making a cool, fun composition. So you're going to need your paint, your bucket of water, your brushes, a paper towel, a full sheet of paper, and of cardstock, and maybe some tape. I pulled out some painter's tape, or masking tape would be fine. Skinnier is better. These are still a little bit too fat, but they'll work. But no fatter than this. Okay, and if you don't have tape, you need a white oil pastel, and I'm going to show you different things that you're going to do. So I pulled a large piece of tape out, and what I'm going to do is put it on the paper. Now I'm not going to do that quite yet because this tape is really sticky, and if I put it on the paper and at the end I'm going to pull it off, it's going to rip my paper. So here is a weird little technique. I'm just going to, you can put this on your pants or something, and pick up some lint to make it less sticky. Here, I can try that on my pants. All right, and then I'm going to lay it on the paper in some sort of a horizontal direction or diagonal, or however you want.
So I'm going to do this with the next one. I'm going to pick up some lint. I'm going to take it off. Make sure it's not too sticky. You might need to do that a couple times. And then now I've created, looks like a flag. Okay, so let's say we've done 3 of those. This one has already got rid of some stuff. That stickiness. Okay, I'm going to lay that on. Don't worry about it.
Okay, if you don't have tape, you're going to need an oil pastel, and you're going to use a white one and a ruler or a straight edge. And so I'm going to make a line, move it over. Now, since I can make this any size I want, I'm going to make that like the size of my pinky, which is approximately a 1/2 inch. Okay, so it's hard to see from where you are, but I have a top and a bottom line. So now I'm going to go through with my oil pastel, and I'm just going to fill that in. Okay, so I have some different sections. Right now I've created different shapes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I feel like these are just giant shapes here, so I'm going to do one more to kind of break that up. Okay, you can do more if you want. I wouldn't make the spots too small, and you're not going to have any room to fill it in because each section is going to be something different.
Okay, next thing we're going to do is we have a list of different things that we're going to create in each section. So one is going to be a gradient, and you can do a gradient from one color to another.
So I'm just going to paint it white because this technique is going to be white into white. Okay, and then I'm going to choose 2 colors.
I'm going to try two. They should be colors that are close to each other on the color wheel, or close to each other in the rainbow.
So I'm going to do this blue. And I want it to be pretty dark at this end. Right, so let's add that bronze down here. You can do this with more colors. You can do 2 colors, you can do 1 color right across, or you can do 3 if you want a little more of a challenge. So actually, now that I've said that, I kind of feel like I'm going to try 3. Go for the challenge. Alright, so I've got bronze and I've got blue, and then I'm going to add this gold. Because I know that the gold and the bronze, I know these colors will mix well together. Colors that will not mix well together will be colors that are opposites on the color.
Okay, so the trick here is wet into wet. So I've made a gradual transition so that the blue and the gold not just touch each other, but actually overlap a little bit, and same thing as here. So actually I see a little bit of a line, so I'm going to bring a little gold on top of blue. Now I'm going to bring a little blue on top of gold, and I think it is done.
Alright, next one we're going to do a wash. I'm going to use a little bit of a stronger color so you can see what I'm up to. So I got a little bit of some pink Himalayan salt from my kitchen, and I'm going to drop that down. And you can't always see what's happening right in the beginning.
And you're just going to let that dry, leave it be. So what's going to happen is it creates a resist. A resist means it's pushing, the paint is not going to stick to it. It pushes away. It's like oil and water, which is exactly what's going to happen with these oil pastels. So the oil pastels are made from oil, so they're waxy. And then you have water, so they are not going to mix together. All right, the next one we're going to do is really fun. So you're going to get like a little blob, and maybe a straw if you have one. Otherwise, I hope you have some strong lungs. And then you're gonna blow, and it goes crazy. All right, in order to make that work, it needs to have like a good wet blob of paint. So a straw is nice because it can help you control the direction of where you blow.
Alright, let's try one more color. So maybe we can get this one to be a little more leggy. There we go, a little more leggy. We start to turn like little monsters. Alright, I feel like this one's not done. Let's do that. Okay. Alright, so that's fun. Alright, so
Let's grab that oil pastel and we're going to create a resist. So the same way we like sort of create this crystallized look with the salt, now we're going to use the oil pastel as a design. So you're going to draw something, designs or a rectangle or whatever it is that you want. And I'm going to use white, and just for fun, because you can see it better, I will use another color.
and I'm going to just make these really simple designs. And then I'm going to paint over it. I don't need for that to dry or anything.
Wet, again, another wash. And you're going to see what happens with the white. It doesn't stick. It's most obvious on the white, because I did a drawing there, and you can't see it. Like a hidden message. All right, so that is an oil pastel mix, or a resist. Let's use our tiny brush, get it wet, but dry it off. And then so you always want to start with a moist brush, but then dry it. Okay, so now I'm gonna dip right into this blue color, and it's almost like I'm painting with acrylic paint now, because it's thick. Everything I've done so far has been very wet. So I want you to have dry paper and a little bit of pigment, but hardly any water, and you can draw something. You can switch colors as much as you want. I'm kind of thinking I'm going with sort of the Zentangle style today. The point of this is to be able to control the brush, control the amount of water.
You can see here it's a little bit thinner. I ran out of paint. So maybe it's time to switch my color, so wash my brush, dry my brush. Okay, get a new color. Come up with all kinds of cool designs that you think would look nice. Alright, let's do a tiny bit more. I'm going to add this red color. Now this one is really watery, so I think I need to dry it off on my paper before I go onto the project. So it's sort of like drawing. Now, I feel like these are three totally different ideas and they're not working together at all. So this isn't our project not only is experimental, but I want to see your cool ideas. So I'm going to take a little bit of that bronze idea, and I'm going to add it into the red. And I'm going to take a little bit of my blue.
Now let's try a dry brush. So I'm going to take the larger brush and I'm going to totally dry it off. As dry as you can get it. You might even take a little bit here and get it off here. All right, and we're going to go into one of our colors. It's pretty dry. And get rid of some. It's very brushy. This is called dry brush. So maybe I'm going to switch colors. I'm going to try another color to go with that, maybe this blue. If I want this blue, and it's got too much in it, I can just take a little paper towel and pick up some of that pigment. Right? So too much, dry it off, and then do your dry brush. What you want to be able to see is the actual bristles.
So I have, this is the edge of my oil pastel right here.
Okay, I decided to fill in with my empty spaces with some solids. I did a little bit of mixing of some blue and gold, and then I did some solids. When you have an area that's totally dry, I want you to try out. So this is dry. I'm going to dry my skinny brush, and I'm going to draw or paint on top of that. So maybe I'm going to do a little vase. All right, now that you're done with everything, you're going to slowly peel off your tape. If you use the tape, be very careful. I can add just a little bit of an outline where the edge of that tape is. Or I can do that all the way around. Maybe I need to add a few more blobs. That looks funny. So that defines that edge. Everything else looks perfect. Last thing I want you to do is get a Sharpie, skinny or thick, when it's all dry, and I want you to pick one of your solid areas to add some kind of a drawing of your choice. Pictures, designs, whatever. And then now you can see, I haven't taken this off yet. There's still some salt sitting there, but you can start to see the little spots happening. All right, and there you have it.